Brought to you by the Rugby Outlet Mall, equipping you for freedom and connection through rugby. Find out more at rugbyoutletmall.com. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Greaux Rugby. My name is GiftTime Ebelu, and this is the podcast where we get to talk to different people about the opportunities that they have found, experienced, created, and just overall interacted with via rugby. We got a great guest today, Kelli Smith from the American Rugby Pro Training Center, run by Julie McCoy out in Arkansas. Kelli is one that I think is definitely somebody to watch, especially when it comes to the Olympic game, because she has been coming through, and she's come in a very unique way. If you guys didn't know, and this was maybe about 3 years ago, that they had a show called The Next Olympic Hopeful, and it's basically a reality show for up-and-coming athletes to have a chance to try and get on an Olympic team, one of the lesser-known Olympic teams. So it was like rugby, bobsledding, and some other stuff like that. And so she's come up through this and has found herself being able to go on this massive rugby adventure. And when I tell you, like, this is a crazy story that just goes all over the place, it is the best. Like, I had so much fun talking to her about just her story. She's got stories to tell, and you guys are going to be able to enjoy all of this on the way through. In the meantime, I hope you guys had a great weekend. It was great over here. It's kind of gotten all rainy and gloomy here in Louisiana, but nonetheless, it's still a great weekend. We're still here. There's still opportunities and still things to be going on. We're almost at the end of July and beginning of August. Like, this is craziness, you know? But it's still, hey, I can't get mad. We still have an opportunity. I still get to interact with you guys, and I always am thankful for your guys' interaction. In the meantime, if you guys have a chance, can you please go on Apple or iTunes, put a review for our podcast, for this podcast. 5 stars, 1 star, a little word in, anything, just to be able to get an idea. We're trying to get 10 by the end of the month. We're at 3. All we need is 7. All we need is 7 more. 7 of y'all just to go on Apple, iTunes, and just hit that click. If you hate it, hit it with the 1 star. If you like it, hit it with the 5 star. If you're just like, hit it with the in-between. It all works together for me. It all works. We're just trying to get to that 10, but I really do appreciate you guys listening. Also, I want to let you know you guys can always catch the video of each one of these podcasts on our YouTube page at youtube.com/GiftTime Rugby Network. And you guys can get the full one. Obviously, listening to it here is one thing. Sometimes being able to just see the people and be able to kind of watch the interaction itself is another. And just we're giving options. I want you to know that you have options in all the places. And, of course, you guys can listen to this and subscribe to this on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, all the above, Stitcher, and all the above. We got, obviously, our sponsors for today, Singapore to Tokyo, Any Way We Can documentary. It's about to be up on Amazon Prime. I expect it to be up there by the end of the week, and I'm excited. So if you guys aren't able to go to the website and get it from there, you guys can always stream it on Amazon. It's going to be up by, I think, Friday, maybe Monday at the latest. But it's going to be good. I'm excited to get it up there. And you guys are going to really love this, having been able to watch it over and over again and then just get it with other people. It's pretty consensus. This movie is so meaningful. This series is so meaningful. It's very quick. It's easy to digest. It's easy to handle. And of course, you guys can always find meaning because it's a pre-COVID world, and it's what rugby and unification is all about. And, of course, being able to experience the Rugby World Cup from a first-hand experience is also amazing in and of itself. Also, we have the other sponsor, the Rugby Outlet Mall. You guys can get all the GiftTime Rugby gear, all the HBC Rugby Classic gear, and we're going to start having some more. We're getting some new stuff inside, but definitely go check it out, and you guys can actually get rugby exclusive stuff for 20% off just for listening to this podcast. Go to Rugby. Type in Greaux Rugby, Greaux Rugby, 2 words, into the code, and you guys will be able to get 20% off all exclusive Rugby Outlet Mall gear. So definitely check it out. And of course, for any other stuff, we always want to make sure it's categorized, looking for the best things that are great for you as a rugby player on and off the field. That's clothing, that's shoes, but more importantly, it's books, it is movies, and just everything that you guys could use to be able to be part of that rugby lifestyle. In the meantime, I hope you guys get to enjoy this all the way. I'm not going to hold back any further. Yo, please check out Kelli Smith of the American Rugby Pro Training Center. Check it out.
Grow Rugby, 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 Grow Rugby.
Welcome everybody to another great episode of Grow Rugby. I got another very incredibly P person on the podcast, coming out of American Rugby Training Center, but multi-sport athlete, former football player, former track star, newly upcoming Olympic rugby medalist. I'm going to throw it out there. Medalist, not just athlete, medalist. We're putting it in there. You know? The Kelli Smith. Kelli, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Look, I receive all that you just put in the atmosphere. I receive it all. Speak it in the universe, my brother. Yes, I'm
yes. Now,
it.
look now, we want all them vibes to be going in. All right.
Yes, we about to manifest this thing. Let's go. Dude, he didn't even say rugby Olympic hopeful. This man said rugby Olympic medalist. What? Oh, yeah.
Call it. Look. When it happens, they're going to be like, yo, you're Nostradamus. And I'm like, no, man. It was there. Like, you just know. You just know. It's vibes.
Just know. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's my pleasure. My pleasure to be here.
Yo, I love it. Look, I was telling you even before the podcast, but, I'm going to say it obviously for the audience. So Jules McCoy, head coach for ARPTC and former head coach for USA Rugby Women's 7s and 15s, she hit me up and told me about you. And I looked at the name and I was like, yo, this name looks so familiar to me. I was like, I don't know why this name is so familiar to me.
Yeah.
And then whenever she introduced us, I was like, I have seen this chick somewhere. I know I've seen her in multiple, I don't know where, it's one of those things that it's in your mind. It's triggering, but you don't know where the connection pieces are.
Right.
And then I think it was, I did a little searching, obviously, because, we got to stock. Look, anytime we become Facebook friends, you got to stock.
Hey, props to you because my name is so simple. So, but
look, you know what?
Find it.
Look. Don't underestimate that eye. That eye changes the game. If it was just
shout out to my mama. Shout out to my mama for the eye. Yeah.
She knew. Yeah. Look, she was like, I know the SEO in advance, all right? I don't want my Kelly getting mixed up with all the other Kellys. She's Kelly. For independent.
You feel me?
Let's go.
Yeah. Man.
But yeah, no, it was through. So when I was looking, I was like, Roots, and I was like, you were on that team back in 2018, 2019.
Last summer in London.
Okay, you were in the London one. So that's why I was like, that's where it is. And I think it was through the group. So, and I'm pretty sure I've seen you at a tournament. Like, I feel like it absolutely, like we said, you've been to quite a few. But I know I've seen it, but I was like, everything is putting together. So I'm glad to officially have been able to have the paths cross properly now.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
So I always like starting off from the beginning because, everybody's origin story is different. But I like particularly yours because of the fact that there is so much breadth that goes to it. So as long as you
story is like that. It's like how you was over here, but you end up over here, and then you came
the oop of life stories.
Here and back up to there. Yeah, it's wild. If I had written this story, it would have just been like, oh, it's a breeze. It's a breed. But I ain't write it though. So.
But look, you know what? Then it has just been basic, and nobody wants the basic story. We want the roller coaster stories. That's right. Where it goes. The roller coaster is far more interesting than just driving down the highway.
True. And seeing corn out the window for 15 hours. I'm telling
you, right? Look, and been down too many of those roads. I've been in too many of those roads.
Exactly.
But kind of just where it started, like. The earliest I knew was you said not you said, but I saw that you went to UAB. But really, it's got to start earlier than that. What was your athletic start like? How did you get into athletics so heavy, to say the least?
So heavy. All right, so shout out to my auntie. Well, first of all, shout out to my family for the DNA, because that helps. So Amen. I will say, Amen. and I give her this credit because she like just made the executive decision to put me in sports. One weekend I was at my grandma's house, in the house, making too much noise. I'm about 5'6", making too much noise. They live in the cul-de-sac. And she was like, go outside. And then so she thought, she's like, run around this cul-de-sac. So I ran around and I was done. She was like, go again. So I ran again. She's like, you ain't tired? I was like, no. She's like, all right, I'm gonna call your mom. The next day she called my mom. She's like, hey, I'm picking her up and she going with me. All I know is she dropped me off at track practice and I've been running ever since.
Yo, she literally made you do wind sprints. She was like, wind sprints first to get you tired, then it was like, ooh, let me.
Oh, you not tired? You not tired? And see, that's the bad part, because like now I'm strictly fast twitch muscle. He's sprinting and we done. But when I started track, I was the 2, the 4, and the 8.
Oh, you were crazy person.
That was my bread and butter. 2, 4, and the 8. I was in there.
Look,
just running.
I can't like 2 and the 4. I get 4 is already crazy enough for me. Like
but the thing is, I dropped out of the 4 when they was like, "Oh, you got to sprint the whole way." Let me go check out these field events. Let me go check out these field events. I was like, you know what?
How did you drop? Wait. How'd you drop out of the 4 first, and it wasn't the 8 that took you out? Because the 8 is
no, it was the 8, but like I was still chilling. Like I could,
you had that moment where you can cruise.
Yeah, I think around like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Is when I started falling back from the 8 and the 4.
Gotcha.
See, I still ran the 2 all through high school. That was my thing.
That one, okay.
Yeah, because like I had the build for it, all that. But yeah,
you already had the speed.
10
works.
Yeah, 10 or 11. That 4 and that 8, I was like, yeah, let me go ahead see what these field events talking about. Because I remember it was like 10, 11 just because I ran indoor track. And I remember it's wild story. It was indoor track and it was cold. And I don't know, you probably heard of Alabama Striders. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a team in Alabama. Well, I was running for a team out of Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, called C Motion, so Christ in Motion. And then later on the Chattanooga Jets. But we were at this horse barn or something. It was an indoor track, and the indoor track was like elevated.
But okay, I know what you're talking about.
But it was a wood thing, whatever. So anyway, I was the only one from my team in my age group. And that's how I know this probably was the last time I ran the 800, like, individually. Because I'm running. And I didn't know. Nobody told me that indoor track, you got to run double the laps. So, so 800, 2 laps. So I run the first one, and the second one, I'm out of there. I'm like, yeah. I got it. My coach, my high school, he's ended up being my high school coach. He tell this story to this day. That's his favorite story. So I'm running. They're like, no, you gotta keep going. So I'm like, what? No. So it looked like I was dead. And so I think I ended up still coming in like second. And I crossed the line and just like, oh. And so he carried me, and I'm just like, I can't do it no more. And he's like, but Kelli, you done. I was like, I know, but I just can't. I can't. But then I ended up winning my whole age group. Like out of all the teams that was there, nice. I won the age group for like 9 to 10-year-olds. So, but yeah, that's the last time I did that as an individual sport, because I did do the multi events, and the 800 is at the end. And yeah.
Yo, I look, I can understand from that, because it's a mental game. Because doing the 8 has always been a mental game. So if you're already thinking like you got 2, all you know in your head, like you pace your mind out 2. And then you get teased. Yo, this is one of the reasons why I always hated in practice in any kind of practice, when any coach would be like, all right, you only have 2 more. Just burn it all out. And then you burn it, and they're like, all right, 2 more because you guys got just enough. And I'm like, you guys
that
were burning hell.
literally just happened to us the other day. That literally just happened. When I say we were 38 hot, we were 38 hot. It was like, you lying. Don't be lying. It's like to the point where it's like, okay, this gotta be a joke. And he just kept it going. And I was just like, oh. So look, you know what? That was rude.
It's real. It's rude. Wrong. Like, look. I appreciate you trying to push me past my limits, but I set these limits for a reason. All right, like they were created. Now, if you want to just tell me you're gonna keep going until we go, all right, I set my limits and we're ready for that.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Don't tell me this is the last one because I done made up in my mind. I'm done. Like
exactly.
After you say stop, I'm shutting off.
Right. The shutting off. We're just hanging over the edge. We're hanging with the finger right on that button.
I'm not touching it. Ooh-wee. But yeah, that's the beginning, man. She had me run around the cul-de-sac and dropped me off at track practice. Been running ever since. And along the way, I played a couple softball games. I didn't really get into it like I wanted to. But
not enough running, huh?
No, it wasn't even that. It was I was really close in middle school because they almost didn't have us a cross country coach. And so I was just all like, let me just do something to track get here. Because like I said, track is my thing. So I was just like, I'm gonna run track. So I was like, okay, cross country is running on like long distance. I could just do something. But then they didn't have a coach. So I was like, oh, it's my last year. I'm gonna try softball. But then they ended up getting a coach. And then I played volleyball and basketball. See, my family, they real big on basketball. And the crazy part is I hated basketball. I hated it. I hated basketball like all the way up until 6th grade to the point where I came home and I told them, I said, Mom, I'm going to try for the basketball team. Her and my little sister, they both looked at me and laughed. They was like, no, you're not. Like, you hated it. Like, you hate basketball. Like, what? No.
Well, what's going to compel you to actually go do
this? Exactly. That's like basketball. Do you even know what that is? Like, yeah, I know your dad, your auntie, all them played it, and they big Tennessee Vols fans. But like, you playing? I don't think so. But I played. You know, we went too hot in middle school, especially my 8th grade year. Ooh, the struggle. But I played it all the way through high school, and I found my role. I found my role in basketball. It was fun. I miss it. I still joke with my teammates. I'm like, I got hoop dreams. I don't know what y'all talking about. I got hoop dreams. I still got hoop dreams. You feel me? I'm finna go out here and be Marion Jones, run track and play basketball. What y'all talking about? I'm finna do it. In high school, I used to tell my teammates, I was like, I'm gonna be the first one to dunk in our high school with the straightest face.
Did you get?
Oh man, I was so close. It was an away game, but I was so close, like to the point where my teammates, they saw it. And to this day, I was like, man, bump that. I should have just gave the other team them 2 points and just dunked that thing. Because it was a defensive board. So my high school is Brandon High School out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, right?
Okay.
Our colors are Columbia blue and red.
All right.
And it's a school in Knoxville called Austin East High School. They have the same colors. We're the Panthers, they the Road Runners. But anyway, so that was our out-of-town rival. We playing a game, you know, it always get heated. That's a heated game. But I just remember one time they shot it and I just ran and I went up to get the rebound and I'm back here. I'm talking about ball back here. And
you coming in with the Kobe?
Man, for the rebound. And the rim is right here at my eyes.
Oh, shit.
And I look. But I'm just like, man, this ain't how I go. And I just come down a big man dribble. Now, I am not the biggest one on the court. But I big man slapped that ball like, what's up? And then I just snowbirded and we scored. And my coach, soon after, it was a timeout. And she asked my point guard something. She's like, Coach, I was finna get the rebound, but I looked up and Kelly feet was in my face. I said, dang, so I was up there high. She was like, yeah, you was up there.
You didn't follow. Just wait. So just shut off on the follow through, or is it? Oh no, you got blocked.
No, it was a defensive board.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't shoot. No, if it was us,
I was
like, I'm here.
Oh, like, how you at the rim? Like, what more do you need? And
no.
Drop it. Just let your body just drop through the
You
hoop.
feel me? Exactly. But no, it was a defensive board.
Okay, I
and
got
it's
you.
crazy. It's crazy because, you know, I told you in middle school, they laughed at me for trying out. So when I got to high school, so I didn't go, my high school had like a feeder middle schools, like about 2 of them. But I didn't. I went to a different middle school than most students. So I was like, man, that was like my first time having to like try out for something.
Mhm.
So I tried out. I was like, I'm gonna try for basketball. I was like, I know I can't dribble well. I'm small, but I don't care. I'm just gonna go out here and see what happens, you know.
It's when you become
Like,
the biggest
the only
defender
people,
ever.
yeah, the only people that knew me at that school were like the administration, some of the administration, just because probably they was like my summer track coach or like I grew up, you know, with them or whatever. So first day of tryouts, everybody knew everybody. Coaches calling folks by name. I gotta tell them my name, you know. So hey, I'm Kelly, you know what I'm saying. So we get to playing, and I love defense. I love defense, and I found out that that's true because when I came to rugby, I was like, oh yeah, let's go, let's get them, you know. So we playing. It's at the end, I guess. We scrimmaging, you know, see coaches see what they got. So we was playing, and one time, and like the point guard, she was already on the team. I think she was like in 10th grade because I was 9th grade, and she going down. She got a fast break. She by herself do the layup, and I'm just running down the court. And this the first time I ever done this. I ain't never worked on timing or nothing. I'm just running. And she put the ball up, and I just jump up and pin it to the backboard.
Nice.
I surprised myself because I told you I ain't never done that before.
That
And
natural
so the coaches
coordination.
was under the coaches was under the rim, and I just landed. And it was 2 coaches, and we all made eye contact. And I just turned around and started going back to the court. But I seen that they looked at me and they looked at each other, and it's like,
Oh, you on the team?
yeah,
You gonna be
they
on the
wrote
team?
that down. They wrote that down. So at the end of the day, they was like, because I think it was like a 2-day process. They was like, all right, if I call your name, you coming back. And so I'm just like, all right, I hope they call my name. They called my name. I came back, and I made the team. I was like, oh, snap.
Feeling
Now, I was
yourself a
like,
little
I
bit?
know. Yeah, I was like, now I know I ain't finna get no playing time freshman year, but I'm on the team. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I've been watching movies and stuff. I know how it works. You know what I'm saying? Wait your turn. Wait your turn. You know, I'm already here. Wait your turn. But then something happened. Oh, so another classmate of mine, we came in together at the same year. She started as a freshman. Tarisha was balling. She'll ball out. But I guess, you know, came crunch time. She like, nah, she a liability. Put Kelly in on defense. When she called me and put me in, I said, oh, okay. So I got in. So freshman year, mostly my role was if we played the box and one defense, I was the one.
Right.
So I was like, all right, well, it's my role. But I still was like unsure, trying to like do everything.
Right, because you want to still be, you don't want to be pigeonholed into one role.
Yeah,
you appreciate getting on, but you're a complete person. You're still a complete athlete.
But like halfway through sophomore year, I started to embrace my role. And I was like, you know what? That's too much pressure. I don't want to shoot. I was like, that's too much pressure. I don't want to shoot. I mean, I got a nice little elbow jumper, but I mean, don't make me use it.
You know what? Right. It's like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it at a key moment because it has to be. But like, I don't want you guys to expect it out of me.
Right. Like, so around that time, I started getting my doubles by rebounds and putbacks. I was like, this me. This me all day. Exactly. For at least 2, if not 3 years, I got defensive player of the year. So
that's legit.
I was like, that's good to me. I love it. Like, it brings pure joy to my heart when you like 6'2" and I'm down here at 5'5" and you can't outjump me. Like, it's a picture in the newspaper where it's like 3 hands, 2 of them right here like this, and then you got one that's just up here. And I was like, oh, that's my arm. My teammate said, that's like, yeah, that's you. I was like, yeah, I remember that boy. I was up there. Y'all was down there. I don't know what y'all was doing. But yeah, so I played in that high school. I did basketball and volleyball. Ooh, volleyball. See, the middle school I came from, the feeder high school, like it's literally like the middle school, high school next door. Right. Shout out to mom, because she was like, nah, you're not going to that high school because they would allow you to get away with not trying in academics. Because my name had already got to the high school before I did.
So wait. Was it just your name, or was it kind of like the family name in general? Like, did you?
No, my family didn't. My family didn't go to this middle school. My family went to the schools that was like on the south side, where back in the day when only like black people could go. Yeah, no, this is a different area. They knew nothing about the Smiths. They didn't know nothing about the Smiths. You know,
You had set the criteria. You have now set the standard on your own in your name for this area.
Exactly. Because the high school coach, she real close with the middle school coach, did a lot of camps together and stuff, and coach done seen me. So, and she was already in my ear, like 7th grade. She was like, "You come into the high school, right? You come into the high school, right?" And they known for volleyball, like they don't want state championships and stuff in volleyball. Yeah. So she's just like, "We get you one of these. We get you one of these." Like some of my teammates in middle school, their freshman year in high school, they won volleyball. So she would come and be like, "We get you one of these.
Basically, you see champion."
Yeah, she was like, "You see, so-and-so just came over here and just won. We'll get you one of these." And I was like, "She didn't even play. Like, do I even want that ring? Because, like, you didn't even put her in, coach."
Right.
Okay. But, yeah, so my mom, she didn't want me to go because she was like, "I know my child, and your halfway is, like, a little bit above a lot of people's trying." Right. So they'll let you get away with it.
But you're not going to be maximizing to your extent that your full potential. And
so that's why she went me. She took me over there to where they didn't nobody know. So they were known for volleyball. And in middle school, that's when I learned how to play. So like I'm serving overhand, set. I'm a setter. So I'm setting that thing. I can pass decent, I ain't too bad. And I get over here, my high school, they still serve it like this and can't get it over the net. So I'm like, oh man, we in trouble. But now we put the work in. We made history. We was the first volleyball team in our high school to make it so far in the tournament.
Nice.
And everything. And we was killing it. We would play schools that's known for volleyball. And, they would expect now, those innocent kids, black kids, they wasn't expecting nothing from us. Man, we come up in there, pass that, spiking that thing, blocking, getting it. Ooh. And so our coach came from Key West, Florida. And he played volleyball.
Right.
So, when I say our practices was brutal, this man would stand up in the decks at the net that like made him like over the net and would spike it so hard at us, so hard to the point where we passing like like closing our eyes. We
one of those moments wherever at some point you were just like, yo, it feels like my hands have gloves because they're so swollen from how hard we have to keep having to hit
the forearm.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, like passing, like digging. I was like, can we like take a break? Like my arms gotta be leather at this point. As hard as you hit me,
he said, "I'm gonna kill every nerve inside your arm by this time this is done."
It was brutal. And then the part for me, what made it so bad, because like I had the volleyball background of fundamentals, so he would make me be the example every time. Like, "Kelly, show him how it's done." So deep down in the fourth chamber of my heart, I'm scared too. But I can't show my teammates,
right?
Because they looking at me, they're like, "All right, Kelly got it. If Kelly can do it, we can do it." And so I'm just like, "Yeah, I got it." But then in the fourth chamber of my heart, I'm like, "Ooh, this ball finna come so hard. This finna come so hard." But yeah, we did it though. We were, oh man, when I say people like started coming to our volleyball games because we put on a good show. We put on a good show. And then like when our number one, our middle blocker, when she graduated, he moved and the setter, they graduated together. He moved me to setter. It was over.
Now you had the power. Now you can control where this thing's gonna go.
I remember. So we playing regular, and I think it was like right before a game, we warming up or something. Because I'm left-handed too, and so I said a lot of times couldn't back set, so she had to turn around if they wanted to hit me, set me, because I'm on the right side. I was a right side hitter, but so now I'm setter. And I'm left-handed. I remember he came up to me. He said, "Hey, you get a good pass from Nene and Didi, you take it." I said, "Say less," because we had some good passes. I'm talking about when I say they dug those balls, like it wasn't no like soft spikes. Like they was spiking hard. Like coming at you, and they was digging it. Like them, two of my two best friends, they could dig some balls. Do you hear me? If they had played in college, they probably would have been All-American liberos. No lie. So, and they got some good passes. Like, if you need somebody to get it to the setter, hit it to them.
Right.
Hit it to them. They gonna get it to me. So, I remember it was one. I'm on front row too. I was like, "Oh yeah, this the one." I jumped up, act like I was finna set it, and spike. Oh! It was over. It was over. The coach jumped up. She said, "You cannot just stand there when she has a 70-foot vertical. You have to block." I love it. And it was inside the 10-foot line too.
Even better. Oh man. Yo, look, that's interesting because I even in listening to all that, right? And you kind of watch there's two things that come into my mind on it. One, there's a bit of responsibility that seems to have been gathered on you from being basically an above average to high level athlete on its own. So you have the talent level that already puts pressure on you. But then the other half of it is the acclimation to uncomfortable or challenging situations and being able to raise people up. Now, obviously on the talent side, you already mentioned, genes and pure insanity that works with.
True. See, people don't believe me when I say insanity because collegiate track and field, you got to be out of your mind to compete in that.
I was going to say, whenever you
that's
say
another story.
I was going to say, when you're from Chattanooga, Tennessee, I've never met anybody coming out of Chattanooga, Tennessee that was in their right mind. Always good people, not in their right mind. Still one of my
All right. I'll take it.
No. Look, I'm gonna ask another question on that later. That'll come for later on in terms of Chattanooga.
Okay.
But the other thing that I noticed was the willingness to go deal with challenges. So when your mom prevented you from going to that school that was initially next to your middle school, was there a complaint? Because I'm assuming a lot of your friends in middle school went to that one in the high school. So whenever you went to the one that was a little bit further across town, was it something that you relished at the time, or was it something that you were just like, yo, I didn't want to do this, like I'm only doing this because I have to, or was it like I like the challenge and I'm ready to go?
So it was a mix. So it was the high school that my older sister went to.
Okay, so there was already a family attachment.
Yeah, but it was a 12-year difference, so ain't nobody there no more.
Right, true story.
Well, I take that back. It was still some teachers there. That was there when she was there. I take that back. But it was a difference. So it wasn't like, oh yeah, she was here 2 years ago.
Right.
So, it was a mix just because both schools weren't too far from my house. But because my sister went there, I kind of knew the coach, right? So it's a predominantly black school. And so, I grew up going to see the band play and stuff like that. And then the other school, I was just comfortable. Like I've been there, I've been around these people. We've been matriculating through grades together, for the last couple of years. So it was mixed. And also but I appreciate though, because it was a change of scenery. Just like, because my mom told me one time we was talking, she's like, you my child, you the child that I could put you wherever,
right,
and you'll be all right. So the middle school was in the feeder high school, they was known as predominantly white schools, right?
Okay.
And then the school I ended up going to was predominantly black.
Right.
So I was just like, all right, well, I ain't really been in this environment before at this level. So we'll see. And then when I got there, it was people that I knew from sports. So they kind of that's like, yeah, come hang out with us. So I made my little cushion in there, whatever. And then of course I met new people. But I was like, oh, it ain't that bad.
Too bad, right?
Now I wasn't expecting no lean on me more than Freeman stuff.
Mr. Sam's on here.
You know what I'm saying? Mr. Sam's, Mr. Carr don't play. But I mean, I wasn't expecting that. But it was known the how it was portrayed in the media often.
Right.
The school I went to, it made it seem like, oh, this is
Dangerous Minds kind of
on me.
Right.
This is lean on me all the way. It's gonna be crack in the hallway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Police every day. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. We actually was a magnet school. We had our own restaurant. Literally, city employees will order from our restaurant. It's called Brandon Bistro. We had our own restaurant, automotives. We had different pathways with 3. Try to break it down. So 9th grade was success. And then once you get to 10th grade and up, in 10th grade, you pick what pathway you want. We wore uniforms. So freshmen wore white. If you were on ITBS, I forget what they stand for, but they had information technology. It was culinary arts, automotives, and I think maybe something to do with art.
Nice.
That was the blue. That was the Columbia blue shirts they wore
Okay.
that. And then you had Ace Academy. That's what I was on. It was legal and protective pathways and allied health, like that. So I was legal and protective because I was crime scene all the way, like CSI. Let's
You're here to
go. We did
investigate.
that. Oh yeah, we did stuff like that. Like we studied blood splatter, crime scenes, all that
Nice.
cool stuff, and like took field trips to the prisons and all that. And then allied health, they worked in like medical, like they learned about the medicals and stuff like that. And I think 11th and 12th grade, for the first half of the school day, they got to work in like a nursing home or something like that. Like they wore scrubs and got to go do that. So we was a whole magnet school. So I was like, so the news ain't gonna talk about this, huh?
Right,
You know what
because
I'm
it's
saying?
not. Yeah, again, I find it so interesting whenever you say that because of the fact that we know, and I mean, it's not even new knowledge to be like the news skews or TV skews how we see so much of the stuff. But I think it's even that much more interesting when it's a place that's even in your proximity. It's not even
Right.
like it was like somewhere over across the country. It's
Exactly.
not like, it's not like, oh, I see Dangerous Minds. Man, LA's messed up. I'm over here in Tennessee. Or, New York, man, you guys
It's
wilding. Like,
literally right down the street.
Right.
Right down the street.
But you know what's funny? I had a similar situation. And so the place where I live now, it's in what would be middle North Baton Rouge.
Mhm.
All the time since I ever moved down here to Louisiana, there's always been that split and divide where North Baton Rouge, which is predominantly black, like hood, it's dangerous, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
South Baton Rouge is typically a more wealthier area, whereas where I went to high school and my parents originally were until they went off to New Jersey. But, whenever I had to move over to this side of town, like, even my parents were a little bit worried, and they were like, man, I don't know if we need to go over here. And for me, I'm just like, look, as long as people don't bother me, I'm good to go. Like, I don't need much. And if something goes down, well, we'll take care of it in that moment. I can't predict anything outside of that. I move up to here. Kelly, when I tell you, this has been one of the nicest, quietest areas I've ever been. Except for, I'm not going to lie, there's an occasional gunshots from here and there.
Well, yeah.
I don't feel like it's going anywhere.
We had the occasional lockdowns.
Right. Like, it's stuff happens, but people over-exaggerate. Right. You're just like, yo, it's not really anything happening. It's like, I hear it. Unless I hear, like, an ambulance coming up behind it, then I'm not really tripping that hard. But usually it's like... Yeah. Okay, there's that. It's not doing anything. It's not anywhere near here. And I go around this entire neighborhood, nothing's happening. Yet you get like all these people who are just like, real talk, mad chill, either want to converse or trying to help you. I remember one time I was walking outside in the summer and people were just like, hey, you look hot. Do you need a ride back? Like, are you good? And I was like, I appreciate that. I'm good though, but thank you. I was like literally right around the corner, but you don't get that aspect. You just get the dangerous, get tight. Everybody's gonna rob you around the corner, and it's just like, no, it's. I think there's it's like you said, it's a mindset and it's a perception. It's if you go in with the expectation of fear, I feel like fears has a tendency to come back and backlash at you.
Right.
But if it's the expectation of everybody's cool and let people at least show, and also maybe not, necessarily present yourself as everything, maybe not show out on everything necessarily. So you're bringing attention to yourself unnecessarily. But if you're just chill and you're just doing what everybody, you just chilled and you're just being a part of the culture, being a part of the area, then it just kind of embraces you in and you're just like, oh, people are people, because it's basically in a nutshell. So that's interesting that you had that situation when it came with high school.
Well, I'm glad she made the decision. I mean, at that point, but I feel like that's kind of my personality. I just would have been like, oh, okay, whatever. But I'm glad she made the decision because I really at one point I had more high school pride than I did for UAB, and I was there. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I got mad pride for my high school. Like, all the way, go Panthers. Like, I was like, hey, once a Panther, always a Panther. Like, if somebody posts something, I'm like, yo, BHS all day. Let's go. Like, I'm in there. So, yeah, I appreciate her for that. Yeah.
You know, Kelly, I feel like you should put more excitement out there. I couldn't tell that you were a Panther fan all the way through. You know,
look, Corona done messed up the high school reunion thing, but yay, look,
you in
there. Once a Panther, always a Panther. Because my high school, the Alumni Association, every summer we have an alumni picnic, and like every class that's graduated has like a tent, and we just be out at the school, on the yard, on the field, whatever, just chilling, barbecuing, taking pictures, having a good time, and just be like, BHS, you know what I'm saying? The band will come out and play. Like, we does it.
I feel like that is such a commonality of like black high schools around the country. I feel like that's so, because even in New Orleans, one of my friends, she has that same thing. Like the pride, you know what it is? Is the band. Is the band. The better your band is, the more you get attached to your school. I think that's it in a nutshell. Because never seen my
time in Birmingham, it's a couple of high schools. They have their little alumni picnic things going on, and they be out there. Yeah.
Once it's something that music touches the soul, the vibration stays.
Gotta play the right song. Because like my high school is like the feeder school, or like one of the feeder schools for TSU.
So it was even.
So you know we played all the HBCU classics. We just stole they little touchdown song and everything and just remixed it for us. Like whatever TSU doing, we doing.
We doing over here.
Like, yeah, we doing that over here too. What you mean? Shoot. And so you don't know this, but I was in the band. I was in the band in high school. The
what was your
band,
instrument?
I'm talking about like 90-degree marching. Oh, woodwinds all day. Give it up for the alto sax.
Oh my God! What were you? Saxophone, clarinet? Which one?
Alto sax. Come on, Lisa Simpson. Lisa Simpson. Let's go. They didn't respect us in parade formation though. They put us in the back. I ain't appreciate that.
See, look, but you know what? You set the bass. You're right there with the bass drums. What is it? Not the bass drums. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a bass. The side.
Yeah, it is the bass drum with the bass and with the tubas and baritones back there holding down. Look.
Alto sax, we did play a lot of the same parts with the baritone. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Because when I got in the band, she needed some alto sax players, so she moved the one she had and moved them to baritone. So yeah, we played a lot of the same parts.
Again, it's the heartbeat of the band. It's the heartbeat. Don't let anybody fool you.
True.
That's what
it is. Now that you said that, now that you mentioned it, that is true. Because like, if your band was whack, or it ain't really do nothing,
exactly.
You was just like, I go to this school. But the bands that was popping in the city,
it changes it. Look.
Oh, what?
So
what? You know what I'm saying?
This is how I knew this happened, all right? So I went to a high school predominantly white high school, U-High, on LSU, Louisiana State campus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we were in band, like, it was just kind of whatever. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate being a U-High Cub and all that. It was cool. It was nice. I like my people, whatever. My brother, 7 years difference from me, all right?
Uh-huh.
He went there. Him and his friends turned that band up, and he played the tuba. And when I tell you that the U-High pride, like, emitted, when I tell you, look, we both had the same band teacher. Our band teachers were the same. I played trumpet, he played tuba. Our teacher was like, nah, I like their class so much better than yours. She's like, your class was so difficult. But them, they changed the way band goes. And in Texas, I think it is. It's the music. The music changes the game in it.
Got to keep that in mind. Next time somebody try to argue me down, I'm like, see, it's because your band whack. It's because your band whack. Because I got something else too. When they be talking about kids these days, I'm like, look, I already know what's wrong with kids these days. They grew up with a front porch. And they ain't got no real good Disney movies. That's why we good. That's why our generation, we Gucci.
It helps.
Kids,
it helps.
These other kids, you see all these cookie cutter houses they building? Ain't no front porch. You need a front porch. I'm telling you.
So what we got? Front porch. You got to get the right band.
And a good Disney movie.
The movies do change the game. The movies do change the game. No.
That's it. I'm talking about if y'all want to change the world, whoever's over these three things, y'all need to put them back. Put them back in the culture. Put them back in society. Make it a staple.
There's a bunch of marketing execs right now just taking notes. Be like, this is how we get them. Let's get this next generation.
Exactly. If you want them to act right, get them a front porch, get them a good band, and a Disney movie.
Oh, man, I love it. Oh my God, that's too funny. Yo,
yeah.
so okay.
I don't even know where I'm at in my story from the beginning. So I told you, okay, cul-de-sac, running track, middle school, did all that. High school, I played every sport.
Volleyball, track, basketball.
Yeah, and marching band.
So okay, so kind of fast forward. So then how'd you get into pro football, semi-pro football?
While I was at UAB.
Okay.
And UAB came about because of me running track when I was younger.
Right.
So the coach at TSU was trying to recruit me, but she kind of dropped the ball a little bit. And
TSU being Texas Southern or TSU
no,
being Tennessee
so
State?
when I say TSU, I'm referring to Tennessee State. I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what you talking about. The real TSU, the real TSU. Hold on, because that's what my people went. Okay, I'm probably like the only one from my family that didn't go to TSU. All right, so we gonna have that. That's the real TSU. All right, we're gonna leave that there. So I'm chilling in high school, doing my thug thizzle and track, getting invited to the it was Nike, but it turned to New Balance meet. So I got invited to that.
Right.
You gotta be top of the top to get up in there.
Right.
And my coach is the same one that liked that story of me doing the 800 and almost quitting. So he was like, yeah, this coach from UAB want to talk to you. I'm like, UAB, what's that? I don't even know what that is. Because I had my mindset, I was going to UTK all the way. That's University of Tennessee.
The one that I don't like so much.
Yeah. Since we in Chattanooga, we say UTK because the one in Chattanooga is UTC.
Right.
Chattanooga. So I was like, I'm going to UTK all the way. And she's like, yeah, this coach UAB won't talk to you. So it was a lot of hurt feelings going on during this process. You know? Because LSU sent me a couple letters and then they stopped. I was like, what? I want to be a Tiger. Like, LSU is known for track. So I'm like, let's go.
And when I tell you that track is amazing to run on.
Oh, I'm already here. I'm telling you, I've been running. So we know what schools is popping.
Right.
So LSU was sending me stuff. And then they just like, I'm like, all right, y'all gonna send like the real letter? Like, where you at? And then UTK, we run there every year. And at one year, every year I'm doing the long jump and the high jump at the same time. Like it's always at the same time for me. But one year I came in second in the long jump and won the high jump. And I came in second to a girl that ended up playing for Pat Summitt. I don't know if you know Gloria Johnson. She beat me by like 2 inches. By 2 inches. So I went tripping. I was like, yo, she finna go play for Pat Summitt. So that's dope. And she barely beat me. It's 2 inches. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? So I went and talked to the coach, and the coach at Tennessee was like, yeah, you could we'll give you an invitation to try out. I said, try out?
Like, why do I have to show anymore? Like,
I was like, sir, you see me at this meet every year, and I looked at your roster. I'm beating a couple people that's on your roster right now. That's what I was thinking in my head. I ain't tell him that, but I was just like, try out. Like, really? He's like, yeah, you try out. So I'm chilling at high school one day, and my coach, he was like, yeah, this coach at UAB want to talk to you. She remember you from with Alabama Striders. I said, ain't never wrong with Alabama Striders. He was like, no, she remember you when you were younger. I said, oh, okay. And come to find out, she's the daughter of the coach of the Alabama Striders, well, the one that founded Alabama Striders. And she remembered me. She told me, she's like, yeah, I remember
from way back in like when you were 10, 11
back
years
when
old?
I'm like 9, 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she remembered. So that's how I got to UAB.
Small world.
So fast forward. Yeah, so I got recruited for long jump and high jump. Right. At UAB. So that was my main events. Every now and then, you'll see me pop off the relay for first leg. But so fast forward, my junior year, I tore my Achilles. So that took me out of the outdoor season. We had just finished indoor season, was going to the outdoor season. I had this monster jump, the first outdoor competition, and then they was getting ready to go to Texas relays, and like a couple days before, pop, Achilles. So I'm out for the season. I'm out. During that time, I started to disagree with the coaches and stuff. So I don't recommend this to scholarship athletes. I don't recommend this to scholarship athletes, but that's when like a lot of stuff became clear to me. So I was like, man, because I had been asking for like extra stuff or like what we gonna do to help me, because at that time, my sophomore year, I was like, man, I feel like I'm plateauing. And what I found out is me as an athlete, that's why I don't like to be. You know, like some athletes like, man, I'm declining. Now for me, the frustrating part is plateauing.
Did you feel like it was like that before you tore your Achilles, or was it kind of something you realized afterwards?
Yeah. So freshman year, me and my roommate, we came in there blowing up the spot. You know, we finishing top 3, top 4 in all the events. You know what I'm saying? We going to these events, and you know, in college, certain track meets, you win, you get prizes. So we leaving with stuff in our hands, you know, like we got a stopwatch, like a pocket watch one time, like little plaques. Like we coming in beating juniors and seniors. So freshman year, like we was doing it. You know, we was out there. The Tyson Invitational, that's a real big meet in college. That's held in Arkansas. And we qualified for that our freshman year. Nice. So like we was doing it. So yeah, we was doing it. And then sophomore year came, and I'm like, all right, it's okay, but like I ain't getting better. What's happening? And then the workouts changed too. So I'm like, why we not doing what I was doing last year? Because it looked like it was working to me. And so that's when I got to the point. I was like, man, I feel like I'm plateauing. What are we gonna do? Like I had talks with the coaches, and I was like, what are we gonna do? And they was like, yeah, we'll do it. So junior year came, fight through indoor season, and then that's when the injury happened. So at this point, I'm already kind of frustrated.
Right. Add the injury in, and you're just adding fuel into that fire.
Yeah. So that's when I was like, man, I don't agree with this. I'm frustrated. So I started to realize, like, man, I don't think they're going to help me get to the next level, you know, where I want to go. Because ultimately, like, well, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but running track for so long since I was 5, I'm like, bro, I got to go to the Olympics. Like, it's only right.
Somehow.
I feel like at this point it's expected. Not saying that it was pressure on me, but I'm just like,
it's a natural progression of things.
Exactly. Like that's the next step.
Yeah.
That's the next step. You know what I'm saying? Gotta complete it. You know?
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, this not happening. So in that frustration, I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And they don't look, like I said, I don't recommend this for scholarship athletes. I started playing everything, intramurals, everything.
Was it just so you could be doing something else, just to give you a little bit more control?
Because my thing, like to this day, I still love long jump. Like I go out there every night and work on my long jump technique, like the small stuff. Because I was like, rugby will take care of the conditioning. I don't need that. But long jump is my thing. And I had seen it before with classmates in high school. I had this one guy friend. We actually went to prom together. DJ, 6'8", 9th grade.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, you balling. And then so we got to a point. I was like, dang, DJ, you gonna hoop in school? He's like, man, no, I don't want to. I'm like, bro, you that big? What you mean you don't want to hoop? But the coaches made him not love the game no more. So that's what I felt was happening to me at UAB during that time. So I was just like, you know what? Let me find something else to do. And I was like, I still got hoop dreams. So I'm going to go hoop. So I started hooping intramurals. Yeah, I started doing intramurals, volleyball, like that. But I started playing basketball. Look, my team made it to the championship, though. Yo, we got to play in a big gym where the actual basketball team play.
Yeah.
So, you know, I started doing that. And I also picked up flag football.
Right.
So
everybody gets flag football. I swear to God.
Yeah. But like, this flag football wasn't intramural, though.
You guys did like the competitive one?
No, so I was working at the Y for summer camp, and some of the people. So Birmingham, mind you, I'm in school at UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. Birmingham had a city league of women's flag football, and so the people I worked with at the summer camp, they was like, "Yeah, come check it out." So I'm going just to be a spectator, and one of our that's like, "Yeah," told the coach, "Yeah, she run track." I think I'm taking summer classes, and I got one more year left of eligibility. So I was like, "Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna be able to play." So he's like, "Yeah, you gonna play?" And I told him, I was like, "Yeah, nah, I'm taking summer classes. I don't think I'll be able to." He's like, "That's all right. Somebody get a number. So they took my number down, and I just started coming to practice. My first flag football game, it actually just showed up on my memories. Was 2014 summer. Nice. That summer we playing in Atlanta. That was my first time. Now I played flag football when I was younger, just because of the after school program my mom had us in.
Right.
I was playing. It was me and one other girl, and we used to give them hell, boy. He had us rushing the quarterback. We both get back there, get both the flags. It was to the point where the other team, the coaches of the other team, they're like, man, where you find these girls at, man? Where you find these girls at? So, like, I knew flag football, you know. So I started playing with them. And, yeah, had fun. I was like, man, this bringing back childhood memories. So that same coach, I played with him a couple years. And, like, around 2016, 15, like, he had mentioned it, like, at 15. And I was still undecided if I was going to go to grad school or whatever. So, but then I ended up taking the job working with Jefferson County Sheriff's Office.
Well, I was going to say, what were you studying? What were you studying at UAB during the time? Were you still doing forensics or anything like that?
Oh yeah. So I wanted to switch to forensics, but I couldn't. So I made up my own degree my sophomore year, because just straight criminal justice wouldn't have got me where I was trying to go, because I was misled. I didn't know, but I made it. UAB had this program. It's called IDM, Individually Designed Major and Minor. And I did that. I worked with the department chair of the master's program.
Nice.
Worked with my advisors, like regular student advisors, and worked with like a lot of professors that was teaching forensics and stuff. And we came up with this degree program, and we was just gonna call it forensics. Just forensics, because it's
nice.
Biology and criminal justice. So I wrote this 5-paper. You had to write a paper to explain why they should let you do this. Like, it was awesome. Even the lady that read, she's like, "This is great. Just make this change and this change." And so, and then by the time I signed it, now usually people, they be like, "I'll wait till my junior year to change." This was literally at the beginning of my sophomore year when I signed the paper. Like, everything signed. Everybody signed off on it. I was the last person to sign.
Right.
And my advisors from athletics came over and was like, "You can't do that." I was like, "Why?"
What?
It was like, "You can't do that, because if you do that, you'll be like because I was going into the junior year, I think. That's like, you'll be a junior on the field and a sophomore in the classroom, and you'll be ineligible." I ain't asked no more questions, because for one, I was the first one to go through this scholarship process of student athletics with my family, so I ain't know nothing. So I didn't ask questions. If now, I probably would have asked questions, but it's like, you would have been ineligible. And
hindsight is 2020, though.
Yeah, I would have asked, like, well, how does this affect my scholarship? You know, because how many football players got a 1 point GPA, and they still be out there playing? But anyway, so they said no. So ultimately, I ended up getting a criminal justice degree with a concentration in forensics and a minor in psychology.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I ended up with the sheriff's office. So yeah, the coach, he come back, he's like, "I'm gonna start this tackle team. I want you to be on it." I was like, "Cool, I'll try it. You know, why not?" So I tried it, and that's how I got into tackle football. The first season we played, we only had like 12, 13 people, so everybody playing both ways. When I say we was tied, we was tied. Because we playing collegiate rules, NCAA rules, so it's 15-minute quarters. Man, I remember one time, this is the cool part, me and my quarterback, I play DB, or I play cornerback, and she plays safety. I remember one time, we looked at each other, we was like, "Is this just first quarter?" Oh, we was tired. But we'll be back there playing defense and then turn around on offense
play
and she
wide
just hand me the
receiver?
ball. Yeah, so she was a quarterback. She was a quarterback. I played running back.
Oh, nice.
I played running back in football. So that's I would like to attribute my footwork, to that. Because I do it a little bit in rugby. I'm like, you
gotta bring it.
Got you.
You know what's funny? That was like one of the reasons why I even started playing rugby, was because of the fact that I was watching a game and they were like running a line. They made a pass, and I was looking. I was like, "Yo, why did they pass it? They could have just juked this guy out. Like, all you just needed was just a little dot. He'd have been done." I was like, "Man, I can do that. Let me go do that as well." And then this is history from there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I played cornerback and running back. And sometimes, every now and then, he'll line me up at linebacker.
Sometimes they what?
Line me up at linebacker. Linebacker position in football on defense.
So what was your first hit like for you then? Like, because obviously you've been playing a bunch of non-contact. Even in basketball, even as much contact as you can make on defense, it's not football contact.
My first hit in rugby or football? First hit
right now, I'll say football. Football first.
Okay. Football, so my first hit, like just initial like, okay, I'm tackled wasn't really a big hit. My big hit didn't come until maybe like summer before last.
So like recently.
Yeah, that was the big hit. Because my team is Birmingham called Alabama Fire.
Okay.
And our rival team is Atlanta Phoenix. And they call it the SEC. You know what I'm saying? The Iron Bowl of the South for us. When we play each other, because like it's real talk. Because like they've been maybe like 10 years or more having an organization. We just started in 2016 and we didn't even come back the next season after.
Oh,
like I played for Alabama that first season, and then was playing for a team in California. So, but I tell you after the hit. So like the hits, wasn't nobody really hitting us. Me personally, Alabama Fire was hitting each other harder in practice than we were getting hit in games because we had some girls on that team.
They're gonna bring all that full Alabama crazy. I'm gonna just call it Alabama crazy.
So look, RIP the Bull, but she was smacking. And my teammate that I told you that was doing long jump with me, she was out there for the first part for a little bit. We was at practice one day, and I think Bull came around and just smacked Renee, just smacked her. And I'm running back, so I'm just looking like, glad it ain't me. And then the next play, Renee did the same thing to Bull. They was just smacking. So everybody at practice, we just like, we just glad y'all on our team.
Right?
Glad y'all on our team.
So ironically, you guys are getting hit 5 days a week, 2 to 5 days a week, and then if you're gonna get some, it'll only be like one time at best.
Exactly. So my hit, that's what I'm saying, when they were hitting me, sometimes it'll just be like I go down because I'm tired of dragging you type stuff. Like you're not really tackling me. I'm just like I can't carry you no more. I done carried you 10 yards. Okay. Ball down type stuff. Now the hit that I got, like I said, was from that Atlanta team. And what happened, I think it was like a fumble or something. I'm running back and the quarterback fumbled it trying to get it out or something. Like it wasn't supposed to come to me, but I was there. So I got the ball and I picked up and I tried to turn to like just run out. And one of the ends, he just hit me. And I was like, I can't even be mad. It's football. But what had me mad, what had me 38 hot was the fact, because I know Atlanta. And I was like, I'm going to be on their highlight film. That's what made me mad. That's what made me mad. I ain't even care about the hit.
It's the embarrassment that you're going to have the repeat of it over and over. You guys are going to try and get pride as if this is a normal thing. You guys got lucky on one.
Exactly. But then it was the homie, because J-Rock, we both made the All-Star team my first year playing football. We both made the All-Star team, so we made that road trip. So we the homies, and she hit me too. And she just hit me, and I was just like, that's a good hit, J-Rock. I ain't even mad at you, big dog. Because I know how J-Rock play. J-Rock an athlete too.
Nice.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, she hit me, and I wasn't even mad. I told my teammates, I said, now y'all got me on that highlight tape. Like, I ain't care about the hit. It's football, right?
Right.
And if we hit people, we can't get mad when they hit us back.
Of course. Of course. Yo, you don't need it to be seen each time. Like, I don't want you to keep reminiscing off of it. I want it to be the hit and then move on.
Ooh, I was so mad. I was just like,
I like the priority.
I've been a highlight tape, man. But yeah, so that's how I got into tackle. The first season they played in the WFA, Women's Football Alliance League.
Yeah.
And me and pretty much the whole team, we made the All-Star team. If it wasn't first team, it was second team. I got Rookie of the Year that year and like led the league in rushing. So that was dope. So I was like, oh snap, hey.
Let's go. So yeah. Okay, so you're doing football. So then now it gets to rugby. So you said 2016 you guys started at Alabama.
2016, I'm graduated UAB. I'm done.
Right.
But I started training post-collegiate long jump because by this time I got a new coach.
This time you got a what?
A new coach.
Okay.
So my last year at UAB, I got a new coach. And the results we saw with her, we was like, boy, if we had like 3 years with you.
Oh, he would have. Oh, man.
I'm talking about she had us out there, a video game, you got creative player. She had us looking like that. Like it was unreal. Like we was lean, we was cut. Oh man, people saw us. Like the coach that recruited me, that I told you that remember me from
way back
from
in whenever
running.
you were with
Yeah, she
Alabama.
saw us. Yeah, we ran that pen relays, and she saw it. She was like, "What you feeding them? Them ain't the same children I recruited. Them are not the same children I recruited." We was like, "Yeah, she got us right." Yeah.
Man.
So I started training post collegiate with her for a
Were you
long
trying to
jump.
were you trying to do like world championships and
Yeah,
travel?
compete in long jump. It was me in long jump and my other teammate doing triple jump. So we
Okay.
was trying to compete in that, but I was still playing football because I was like, why
Right.
not? You know, I ain't doing nothing else. And
Right.
so at that time, and then this was the time I played with the California team. So my Alabama team played, but the coach, he was like, yeah, we did good, but I don't want to play if we ain't got the numbers because I don't want y'all to, have to do that again. So they
Do
didn't
to
come
it.
back.
Yeah. It's
But
kind of
the
dangerous at the
lady
same
that
time
was,
too.
yeah, the lady that was over the league, she seen me and Jenkins play. We made the All-Star game. She was like, y'all too good not to play. So what we'll do is we'll fly y'all out to California for games. Y'all just pick the games y'all want to play. Y'all got to play in 3 to qualify for playoffs. So pick 3 games and we'll fly y'all out and play. So me and her was playing for the California team.
Nice.
And so that was like, wait a minute, you doing it on the East Coast and the West Coast? You running around people like that? You made the All-Star team for the East Coast? Now the West Coast? Oh, y'all can play. So we played that. So while I was doing that, still training for long jump, I got injured training for long jump because it had rained and we didn't do the sand right or whatever. So I'm taking time out. I see this how I got into rugby. I'm literally one day after practice, long jump practice, I'm just looking on my phone, scrolling Twitter. It said, "Are you the next Olympic hopeful?" I said, I talked to myself. I was like, I trained for it, duh. Yeah, and I kept
Of
it
course
scrolling.
I am.
Of course. So I just kept it moving. But then it kept popping up over and over and over again. So I was like, well, let me do some research. And so it said you could win a chance to train with the national team. It didn't say which team. So I was just like, oh, wait, it's a national team for track? Because I'm real deep into the track culture at this point. So I'm like, well,
Right.
people got their own separate camps. So what they mean, like the national team, like how that's gonna work. So I do some research and it's like, yeah, we got a tryout coming. You can come to a 24-hour fitness and we'll do your testing there, or you could just send in your results.
Right.
So I was like, man, ain't no 24 hours near me in Birmingham, the closest one in Texas. So I emailed somebody. I was like, I'm interested, but can I just like email my stuff in or whatever? She was like, yeah, sure, you can send it in. So I kidnapped my football teammate and one of my best friends. I was like, look, record me doing this. Record me doing the 10. Record me doing the 40. Record me doing squats, jumping up and stuff like that. So we get all that and we send it in. When we send it in, come to find out, they didn't even need the video to go with the numbers. I was like,
are you serious?
they just needed the numbers. But
No,
I'm glad I put my video. Exactly. I'm glad I put my video because my numbers, if anybody else was looking, there's like, ain't no way. Because like my numbers were crazy for my height and size. Like if you look at my height and size or like weight and stuff like that, and my numbers, it was like, nah.
No, because it would have looked like you were just like making up ish. Like you'd have been.
Exactly. So I was like, I'm glad I put my videos in. So fast forward, we chilling at Essence Festival. Me and a couple of my friends from college, we chilling at Essence. And you got like all the like notifications at the top of your phone. So I was like, let me clear this stuff out. So I pull it down and it said email, say Team USA and congratulations. So I was like, wait a minute. Let me see what this say. I was like, what is this? And that was the congratulations. You've been selected to come to California to try out for the next Olympic hopeful scouting camp. So I was like, oh, snap. So I took a screenshot, but thank God my friend was there. Keela was there. She kept reading. She was like, it's like, do not share on social media. Because I sure about to put it out there. I said, I done screenshot and everything. She was like, don't share. So look, we was like, well, let's turn up in Essence Fest then. Hey, let's turn up. And so
That's why you keep your friends close.
Exactly. So I was one of the 100 that they picked to come try out. Are you familiar with the scouting camp?
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with the scouting camp, but not necessarily the show itself. But
I was on season 1. How the format was, they picked the four lesser known sports. It was rugby, bobsled, track cycling, and skeleton.
Okay.
And they picked 100 people and they divided us up. So it was like half guys, half girls for each sport. So like 12 guys and 12 girls for each sport, you know, give or take. And so I got picked in the email they sent. It was like, congratulations, you've been selected, come try out for rugby. But when you apply, it tell you to pick 2 sports. And my 2 sports, rugby was one. But I initially picked bobsled just because I knew from watching track and field, following certain athletes, I was like, they transition them from track to bobsled just because of the speed, and they
was like Lolo Jones one of those athletes that you had?
Yeah. Lolo Jones, Lauren Williams, you know, people like that. So I was like, okay, well, bobsled then, you know, cool runnings. I'm cool. I'm ready. Let's go. And then I picked, what made me pick rugby was I was playing tackle football at the time. I only seen it on TV twice, but it looked like football. I don't know.
Close enough, right?
Yeah, close enough. So that's why I picked it, and they picked me to try for rugby. So they sent us the test that we were going to do. They sent us a list of fitness tests that we were going to do while we were out there, you know, trying out. And I showed it to my coach that was training me for long jump. And I was like, what you think? She was like, well, for one, I think you should do it. I was like, cool, because I was going to do it anyway.
Right.
And she was like, and I think you should try, we should do this agility or whatever, this endurance fitness test. And so we out here worked on that for like 3 weeks before I went out there. It was the RSD. She had me doing that one, the RSD. I was like, man, the first time I did it, I was like, this is crazy. So all the times we practiced, she had me doing it. She had me doing it like maybe like 3 times in one session.
Yeah.
I never made it to the last cone. But when I got out there to Colorado, the first 3, because you know it's like you go 30 seconds, rest, go again. The first 3 reps, I made it to the last cone. Like after the second time, I was like, "What is happening? This is not." You know
normal. What? It's that Colorado mountain. There's some. Look, I don't care what people say. So this is my experience of being out in that area, right? So I'd always heard from all this time where it was like, you go out to Colorado, you start to lose your breath.
Yeah,
it's hard to breathe. It just goes. When I went out there, my energy went way the hell up. Like it's
crazy.
Something about it. I was just like, yo, I have so much energy. I don't know why.
Exactly.
I didn't take anything. It was just this area.
She was training. I'm training in the thick of the summer in Birmingham, Alabama. Like it's humidity. It's humidity, and I'm just like, ooh. And now some other folk that was out there in California, it's like, I can't breathe. I'm dizzy. And I'm like, really? I'm all right. You know, I'm feeling all right. And that's why I said the first 3 reps, because the RSD was last. I don't know if you saw the TV show or not, but it was like the last event of the whole week. Like rugby, we did the most. All the other sports, they did some squats here and there, but rugby, they had us doing the most. You feel me? And RSD was the last one. Like, and it was some people that they were crazy too. They didn't even have to do it as a part of their sports that they were trying out for. They did RSD anyway. I said, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy.
Let these people take us out like this.
They really did. Like afterwards, it was like, anybody else want to run it? And it was like at least 7 people that was like, yeah, we want to do it. I was like, do y'all know what y'all about to do?
Yo, wilding right now.
Exactly. But yeah, so the first 3 reps, I made it all the way. The last one was like 25 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it out there. I was just like, what? That's crazy. So that's how. And then in the crazy part of the rugby, they took us to a field and had us like do rugby stuff.
Right.
Like to the point, it was me and this other dude named Phil. He was a track guy too. But he ultimately got invited to go do some bobsled stuff because they was like, and that's the cool thing about it. While you're there, you're not just limited to that one sport. Because they saw him, and they're like, oh, no, we want him in bobsled. He need to come over here this week and do bobsled stuff. But we was at the field, and that's like part of up. We was like, man, me and you, because we don't know what we doing. We trying to pass a ball we ain't never even seen before. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, yo, it's football-like, but yo, this is much more eggs. This is a little bit wider. Yo,
so
a whole hand,
exactly. They had us. I don't know if they got the audio because I was talking, I was talking, but that whole week I was talking. I don't know if they got the audio because each sport had their own Olympic mentor, and Carlin
Right.
was ours. So we had to do the 40-meter sprint. So you do it without the ball. Then they had us do it with the ball. So when
Right.
they gave us the ball, that was literally my first time touching it. When they had us do the 40-meter sprint with the ball, that was my first time touching the rugby ball, seeing the rugby ball. And so I'm like, so at first initially I was like, oh, I play football, I got this.
You're
So
about
I was
to
cutting it like a running back. And I was like, wait a minute, this too big. It's not gonna stay.
Then you try to put it around the chest. It's like it's not quite.
And then Carlin was right there. I said, how you hold this? Like, how you do this? And he told me. And then so I put it here. I was like, man, it's ugly. Like, if I do this in football, like, this is trash.
It's just pop out. You're just looking for fumbles.
Exactly. So that was my first time doing it. And we out there at the rugby field, playing around. So, and then at the end they split us up into teams and we playing touch. And I remember they finally, like, at this point it's the middle of the week, so you got couple friends, we calling each other names. And my roommate, she was there. She was like, get the ball to Kelly. In my mind, one thought for a split second, I was like, why am I gonna get the ball to me? But
right.
She was just like, I ain't touched it yet. So I just got the ball. And Quan was like, yeah, we're gonna set up, and we're gonna get the ball to Kelly. So they get the ball to me and I just run. So then at one point, my team on defense, and one dude had the ball, and I just going at him. And it's touched. And when I get to him, I can't slow it. So I like knock him over. I was like, my dude, I ain't trying to tackle you. I'm so sorry. I ain't trying to tackle you for real. So, and then another time I got the ball and I just took off, and I seen somebody coming. So I juked him. And you see him, he fly out the frame. And I'm just running. But it's my guy Field, when I told him I was passing with, and he got track background. So all I hear is just this man walking me down. He's like, man, I couldn't let you do me like that. I said, but you're a guy. It's okay. Because anybody else, they wouldn't have caught me. But
is that it's always that little bit of competitive edge that has to still be able to tap into that. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So fast forward, I win. And a part of me winning, I got to go train with the national team out in California. And Richie's the coach at the time. Right. Richie Walker is the coach at the time. And so I think we had one-on-ones one day or something. And I asked him, and I said, why did you pick me? What made you pick me? He's like, yeah, we were out at the field playing, and you didn't care. You didn't care. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you didn't care if it was a guy or a girl. You were
just ready to go.
Yeah, you was just playing. He's like, you was out running the boys and chasing them and tackling them and everything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, okay.
That great. Fearlessness, whenever it's just like, yo, this isn't guy or girl. This is like, yo, I'm just here to win and beat all you
shout
guys.
Out to my childhood. I was like, shout out to my childhood playing throw them up, eat them up with the boys in the backyard. Playing 21 with the guys in the street, But yeah, that's how I got into rugby, just the TV show.
Yo, so that's wild. It's interesting because, like, it's a natural. It's very non-rugby while being super rugby. The randomness of it also helps in that factor, but because of the fact that it's so commercialized, it's typically not what you would expect from most rugby situations. And probably the last 2 years, you've noticed. Maybe to a level, not in the social, but like speaking out, the humbleness that rugby has. It's not a advertised boastful. It's a I talk passionately sport, but not a I advertise boastful. So to have it on that platform to be where you learned it is a unique trait and something that obviously you don't see very often. So I like that it was for that end. Shoot, you stuck. You're still hearing it. So clearly,
here. Yeah, clearly either they like what they see or I'm just not right in the brain.
I mean, it can be both. This is why it's embraced. This is why it's loved.
Yeah. The crazy part though, so that was 2017 when they said that I won. And so I was talking to Rich and I was like, well, when do you want me to come for my 3 months? And he's like, you can come in October or January. So mind you, I'm working with the sheriff's office. And I just got.
Wait, were you doing forensics for the sheriff's office, or were you an actual officer?
I was a deputy, like an officer.
Oh shoot!
But I was working my way up to forensics. Just put my time in so I could go to that department.
Right.
And so I was like, well, I'm gonna wait to January because they give me time to get stuff in order. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I was with Jefferson County, and well, first of all, they let me take that week off. So the crazy part about going to that week for that scatter camp for the TV show, I had literally just got put on patrol by myself. So in Jefferson County on patrol, I'm in the car by myself. I was in a training car with my FTOs, but I was like, now I'm out here by myself, and I had already put in for my time, and my sergeant was like, so you mean to tell me this your first week on patrol and you already putting in requesting off?
setting a good standard for the future right there.
You feel me? So I said, yeah. And he's like, well, look, this is how we do it. The veterans go first, you know, they got seniority. So if we need somebody, if I could find somebody, but I don't think so. I don't think we got nobody to cover your shift. And I was just like, But in my mind, I'm thinking I was going anyway. So
right, it's like, look, I'm just trying to do it so not to burn bridges right now. But
that's
ready to go if need be.
That's what I was thinking in my mind, because first of all, I had already told them when I was leaving. Because with the TV show, I ain't had to do nothing. All I had to do, I felt so presidential. All I had to do was just call and tell them what airport I was flying from and what time. That's it. I was like, oh, this how y'all be doing it on TV USA? Okay.
See you guys.
I see y'all. So yeah, my sergeant, and then he was like, well, what you going for? Because I ain't really want to tell him, because, you know, I'm not mysterious, but I like, you know, this, you stay over here and this stay over here. So I really want to tell him, but then I was like, man, he tripping. So I went ahead and showed him the email, and he was like, okay. So then, because at first he ain't like, he wasn't budging. So I'm filling out the rookie paperwork. And by the time I got done and left his office, he was like, all right, Smith, you got it. Nice. I was like, thank you. So like, he let me off for the week and came back.
Good.
So
that's good. Yeah, make it a lot less awkward.
You know, so he let me take the time off. So then it was getting close to like November, and I knew I had told Richie like I'll come in January. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, I got to put in this paperwork. I was like, a leave of absence. I need to take a leave of absence. Rules and regulations say you could take a year. So initially, I was supposed to be in California for 3 months, right? That was the agreement. You win the TV show, you get 3 months, and you get paid. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going 3 months. So there's March. I tell them I come back like at the end of April. They give me time to decompress and get ready to come back to work.
Right. So next, right.
Yeah. It didn't happen like that. It didn't happen like that.
When it kind of changes the game a little bit on that.
Yeah. Shout out to Jefferson County, though. They've been working with me real good. So I put in, I think either I said April or like May 1st or something.
Okay.
So then I call my people. So I'm out there in California. And, you know, it's the Vegas and the USA women play. They set up a scrimmage between Australia. That's what it was.
Oh, nice.
And before that, we went, Richie sent the group of us over to Japan to play in Okinawa Sevens. So he was like, my 3 of y'all, we gonna have y'all come back and play with us in the scrimmage against Australia. So I was one of the 3 they picked. So I was like, oh snap, I get to play with the big dogs, you know, the ones that usually on going on the series stop. You know what I'm saying? So I get to play with y'all in Vegas. I don't care if they call us the Falcons. I know who y'all.
You know who you are.
You know what I'm saying? I know who you are, and I know what you do, and I'm out here with you. So, so got to play with them. And I had, before all of that happened, we was having one-on-ones, and I told Rich, I was like, hey, my time here is coming up. So, like, what you thinking?
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, we'll talk about it when we get done. So, Japan happened, Vegas happened. And he's like, I really like what I see. Like, from when you got here to here, I really like what I see. He's like, I want you to keep playing. So I give you like another month. I was like, bro, at this point, it's like about 5 months. I was supposed to be back in Birmingham.
You even have a job anymore?
Look. So I called him, and so and then like after that time go, he's like, and we'll come back and talk about it later. So we came back and talk about it. He's like, I really want you to keep playing, but we're trying to get ready for World Cup, and we don't have at the time the coaching staff to like, you know, help you like with what you need to learn.
To do like a more private one or something like that?
Yeah. Listen, because when I got there January 1st
of 2017,
I couldn't pass of 2018.
20, okay.
Yeah, I
So this
couldn't
was going up
pass.
to the World Cup sevens that they were about to go
Yeah,
to.
World Cup sevens. World
Okay.
Cup sevens in 2018. I couldn't pass, left or right handed. It didn't matter. Let alone run and pass.
Right.
I didn't understand the game. So I'm like, I was so disoriented when I got tackled and got up. I'm like, which way? Which way am I going? I don't know. And they talk some get up and turn around and poach. And I'm like, but how do you know which way to turn? Like when I got tackled, it's like, put the ball back to your team. And I'm like, but which way is my team? You know? So here we are, like,
Wait.
almost.
Before you continue on that, like, how much was it the difference for you between that feeling of doing that in rugby versus what you'd already been doing in football? Because you're used to being tackled, you're used to getting hit, maybe not hit the hardest, but getting hit. So, like, what was it that made it so much more complex on just overall on the
So for
multifacetedness on
one,
it?
yeah, so in football, I wasn't getting that hard. Now, they came with a little extra power in rugby. I ain't gonna lie. Because, ain't no pads and I can't.
It's just all
And also, I don't have an offensive line that's quick
right
on their
to
feet
get
that I can run behind and bob and weave in between. Yeah, it's
right.
just me. Like I said, throw them up, eat them up in the backyard. But then also in football, once I'm tackled, I got time to lay there and gather myself and figure out, okay, we still going this way.
Right.
In rugby, when I get tackled, I gotta go down and make a move, and so that my
Cover your
teammates
head.
can come, can come and still get the ball, and the other team can't. So like I'm confused on because I done landed all which way, and so I don't know. And then the other team coming in taking the ball, and my team ain't mad at me because they got it and they ain't. I'm like I don't know what's going on. I just don't. And so I remember the first time because like it was part of a training session. They called it chaos.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. And I was like, well, time out because this is not helping me. Yeah, I need y'all to play right.
Sounds like it was living up to its name perfectly.
For me, definitely. And I was like, but chaos is not helping me. I'm trying to learn. They already know this game. That's why it's chaos to them. But so yeah, they was doing that, and it took me a minute to catch on in the conditioning. Boy, like I said, track background. I'm used to running,
Sprint,
regroup.
boom.
Exactly. But they just keep going and going. I'm like, Especially, and then like also in football, you tackle, boom, reset. You got time, walk to the huddle, talk about it, come back. You tackle in rugby, they still playing. You might not be playing,
Right.
but they still playing. So yeah. So here we are in May, or they get ready for the World Cup. So the coach, he's like, yeah, we're bringing new people in and we got room for you. And that's when Jules come in. She was like, I think I can help you. And so came on down to Little Rock. Now mind you, I extended my leave of absence at this point.
Right. It's been what, 6 months at this point?
Yeah. So I emailed her and extended it. So we had this coach, you probably know him, Maddie Baker.
Vaguely.
From New Zealand. She was here coaching my first year.
Nice.
And so she was like, Kelli Smith, side note, I'm the only person that I know that my whole name is my nickname. Everybody else get that name, but when they see me, they're like, Kelli Smith, what's up? So she was like, Kelli Smith, what you doing after this? Now, mind you, I'm still on leave. So I was like, nothing. And she had just got the job to coach in Boston, WPL. So she's like, well, come and play in Boston. So I'm thinking sevens. But everybody keeps saying like 15, throwing this 15 number. Now, mind you, I'm still new to rugby. They're like 15. I'm like, what is that? I don't know what that is. And they're like, I'm going to Boston to play rugby. So I'm assuming it's sevens. Because I done told her, yeah, it was not. So at this point, when I agreed to go to Boston, so I was like, man, all right, well, rules and regulations say I could take a year. So I'm just going ahead and tell, I was like, hey.
Mark off that full year out the way.
Exactly. I'm just going to go ahead and take my full year, and I'll be back January 4th. Give me a couple of days or something. I don't know.
I got to imagine what your sergeant was thinking. Bro, you're only supposed to be gone 3 months. Like,
right. Like, but at this point, it's out of the sergeant's hand. I don't even think he cared anymore because I had went back one time to qualify for my firearm.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, all right, nice to see you. What you doing now? And I'm like, hey, man, I'll just, glow trying. So I extended to like top of January. So
Right.
I'm in Boston playing, running around, don't know nothing about 15. So the first game, I played the second half. Then I finally played the whole game. And I was like, this crazy. And she had me at fullback.
Oh, so
And
you
that's
were
how I
out there
got,
to cover the last track on
yeah,
everybody, the last
yeah.
hitter on everything.
She had me at fullback. And I didn't
Wait,
know
did she
what
have
I
you
was doing.
kicking too?
No, see, now that's something I'm working on.
Okay.
I'm trying
I'm
to
about to
add
be
that
like,
to
yo,
my
that's
toolbox. I'm trying to add that to my toolbox. I
gotcha.
don't know about. I ain't too hot at kicking. So so yeah, I added to my toolbox the
Nice.
kicking part. So, but she had me at fullback, so I'm out there running around. And Coach Kane, he told me it was a game against New York was what put me on the map for him. Like made him add me to the pool or whatever for 15s. He was
Right.
like, yeah, you had the ball. I seen you scooped up the ball and did your thing and you scored. And then he said, and you did it again on the other side. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna have to go find out what play you're talking about because I don't be remembering. Like people be asking me stuff, I just be running around. I'm not even going. But I tell them I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna hold you. I just be running around.
Right.
So I was out there playing. I was up there playing in Boston. So that was my first WPL season.
Was it your first time in Boston as well, too, in that area?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's my first time in Boston as well. Just like being there. Like I visited maybe like Philly or Penn Relays up in their area.
Right. But
But
nothing
like
that
just been
actually had you sitting in
in
it.
there, yeah, sitting in it, just there all day, every day. So that was my first time up there. So I'm playing WPL, and once again, Coach Betty Baker, she's like, "Well, what you think about playing overseas?" Now, mind you, I went to Rio in 2016 to
Right.
watch the Olympics. So I'm like, "Hey, I got a passport. I want to use it. Let's
Right.
go."
Let me flex this thing.
Exactly. So she was like playing overseas. I was like, "I can do that." Like you telling me somebody want me to come play, and I literally just started playing 8 months ago. So she's like, yeah, I got something for you. She's like, you can either go to Ireland or Spain. So she told me the details of Spain, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, that's a no brainer. I'm going over there. They paying for everything, and I get a stipend. I'm going to Spain.
Wow.
So at this point, I was like, I really want to. So let me talk to the parentals real quick. So nationals in Atlanta that year.
Right.
Actually, no, our last game of the season was against
Wasn't
Atlanta.
what playing
Kingstown
against
Atlanta.
the Harlequins?
Yeah, that was, and so my family came because mind you, she just told me come to Boston. I didn't even know Atlanta had a team, and my folks was like, "Why you ain't play for Atlanta?" I was like, "Y'all, I didn't even know until I looked
Right.
at the schedule, but I had already committed to them,
Right.
so I can't just,
But you
you
know
know,
what? It goes back to what I was saying again, like the humility of rugby. Typically, like it, you don't know it exists until you know it exists. Then once you know it
right,
exists, then you're like, wait, there's so many options here. Why did I
exactly." It's rugby is a whole, what Jasmine say, a whole new world.
not? Right?
Didn't even know. Didn't even know. And it's global.
And
I'm
it's
like, what?
global. Right. Bruh.
So the last game of the season, my folks come watch us play. And so I talked to them. I was like, so she said I could go to Spain. They're paying for everything. And I could go play or whatever. So my dad, he was all for it. He's like, yeah, shoot. You know what? Because my thing is, go for it. Go for it while you can.
Right.
My mom was like, well, yeah. I mean, that's what you want to do. Go ahead. I was like, ha, say less. So now at this point, I call it Jefferson County. I'm like, hello. Yes, ma'am, Miss Payroll Lady. I'm going to have to go ahead and put it in my letter of resignation. Because I got this contract overseas, and it ain't up until May. And that's past my year that I told you I was going to take. So she's like, all right. And then a couple days later, she give me a phone call. I got a message. She's like, well, hello, Deputy Smith. I just want to let you know before you come down here and turn this stuff in and letter, because I wrote a letter to the sheriff explaining, that I'm gonna have to, leave.
Right.
She's like, before you do that, give me a call. So I'm packing up. Now, mind you, we got a house in Birmingham and our lease is almost up. So I'm packing up the whole house. So while I'm gone, my roommates won't have to wait on me, if they decide not to renew it. So I was like, yeah, I'm about to come down here. I'll be down there in maybe an hour or two. And she's like, well, I left that message because do you think you would ever come back? And I was like, I can. It's no problem,
Right.
because I knew what I was trying to get to was the crime scene department. So I was like, yeah, I can come back. That's no problem. She's like, well, listen, so you're already on leave. What we can do is just hold your spot because we're not paying you. We can just hold your spot till you come back.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was like, really?
Really?
You can do that? She was like, yeah, we can hold
They
your
must have
spot.
really liked you.
But I wasn't even there that long. At least I don't think. Maybe they like what I did at the jail. I mean, I did get hired in 2015. But I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, we could do that. So just write a letter, explain to the sheriff what you're doing, and yeah, we just hold your spot. I was like, oh, okay.
Nice.
And so I wrote a letter to the sheriff, and he approved it. He signed off on it. Now, and so yeah, here we are today, 2020. And I ain't been. I only go to like do firearms qualifications, and that's it.
Bruh.
That was always 2000. My last night of work, because I was on night shift on patrol. My last day of working was Christmas 2017.
But see.
Well, working for Jefferson County. I ain't gonna say that. I done had some jobs in between, but working for Jefferson County.
Working for Jefferson County. But wait, and your spot's still being held, waiting for you?
My spot is still being held. So I was supposed to return next year, but they pushed the Olympics back.
Right.
And I'm on the radar. I told you, next Olympic home.
Like,
well, you said Olympic medalist. So we gotta push that back.
Let me tell you how much Olympic. Look, I'm about to be out. I'm already gonna be out there. So I'm expecting to see you guys out there. I'm expecting to see you out there on the field. I'm coming in media style. So I'm just like, look, we about to go do this. All right.
Exactly. But
Man.
yeah. So
did you end up actually being able to go to Spain?
Oh yeah, I went to Spain. I went to Spain from October, Halloween here, to April 1st.
Wow.
Of last year.
What was that experience like? What was that experience? And two things. What was that experience like for you? And then subsequently, was that your first time going overseas? Like not to the Caribbean or anything like that. Like going across the Atlantic or Pacific?
So that experience was cool. First of all, I was blown away because I'm like, these people really want me to play, and I literally just started playing. Like, do they know? Did she hype me up? Like, I don't know what happened, but I'm glad to be here. And also, but I will say the few rugby games I had played in before, I will say the competition here was better than the team I had played for there. But the team that I went to play for was at one point like the top dogs, but they like rebuilding now. So we was like in the bottom tier trying to get up. Right. And we won every game. We lost one, but apparently that one game we lost was the game we had to win to move up. But I keep in contact with some of the teammates, and they said they moved up. So I was like, well, good. I'm glad y'all moved up. But yeah, so we was playing. So that's probably why the competition wasn't,
that high
to what I was used to. Yeah, for the short time I had been playing. But it was good because like the girls, the teammates, I was like, how long you been playing? And they had a girl from New York, Talia. She played with New York Rugby Club.
Oh, nice.
And another girl from New Zealand. It was us three. We was living together. We called ourselves the imports. But they asked us how long we had been playing, and like Laura been playing since she was like 6 or whatnot. Talia been playing for a minute, and here I am. I was like, well, it's August, so I've been playing for 8 months. Yeah. So, and they was like, no way. I was like, I'm so serious, y'all. I'm just out here running around and just, putting footwork on folk. That's it.
Just letting them. It's like, look, I'm just here to catch the wave. I'm just catching the wave of what's going on in the field.
Exactly. I'm just playing this new sport that I found out about, and so every time somebody say play, I'm like, sure, why not? But that was my second time overseas.
Yeah.
Well, no, I take that back. It was like the fourth, but the first couple times was like trips.
Okay.
The longest I stayed before that was I went to spectate the Rio Olympics. So I was there for like a week and a half, just watching the games. That was my first time being overseas and like living, and that was so dope to me. Like I want everybody to go experience a different.
I say the same thing. Yo, you got to go to one. It not only is it good to just get out of the country, sometimes, just to get out of the country in itself. But then two, it's like the culture outside isn't like, it's not as dark as people try and make it out to be.
It's not. In the part where I was in, I know it might sound crazy because it's crime everywhere.
Right.
But I promise you, where I was, I didn't have this sense of like I'm looking over my shoulder all the time. Like it's this one, like they had us in an apartment, right, like literally like down the street from where we practice, and you got to go down through a tunnel. It's just so you won't cross the street, because when you come out the tunnel, you're on the other side of the road. But like that's just how they made it, right? I would walk through that at night during the dead of night. Now in America, I'm not walking. I will go around. I'll walk all the way around. I'm not taking that shortcut. I will go all the way around and be like 5 minutes late. But there, I'm just like, la, la, la.
Look, I had the same thing, dude. I was in Southeast Asia this last year, and me and a friend of mine were bike riding through, heading out to the Rugby World Cup. And I tell you, like, when I say that place was so safe, it was so safe I got uncomfortable. I was like, I was like, yo, I do not feel any fear, and this is scary to me. All right. I was like, I don't know if I can live in this kind of lack of fear, because I feel like I'm gonna get soft from not having to worry about turning. Like, I need that extra pressure that America has. For some reason, America, you're like the air of threat of something's gonna come.
Yeah.
But then when I went to a place where I don't feel it, I'm like, no, I don't know about this feeling.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
so my first time going out the country, like I said, was Rio.
Right.
And while I was there, I was like, I knew it was more than to the world than the United States. But like being here, I'm like, they really out here living. Like they living, you know? Like I'm seeing
it was real like that though.
And so I wasn't like in like a hotel, and then I ended up staying like with a church, like ended up doing mission work. So like I was eating like the food that, you know, the locals ate. Like it wasn't no McDonald's. I ain't have McDonald's while I was over there. I was eating beans. I was eating black beans and rice.
That's
like
what they ate. You go overseas for home for U.S. food. You go overseas and you take whatever is there locally.
Exactly. So I was eating that. So I'm like, oh, I'm living. But now going to Spain, I was there for months, and I ended up practicing with a track team there, because I was gonna run for that little track team, but the rugby president was like, nah, I don't want you to get hurt. In my mind, I was like, man, I do this. I'm not finna get hurt doing long jump. Come on. But I was doing with the rugby. I mean, I was practicing with the track team, doing the rugby, you know, playing the games there, and like just hopping on the train like I know where I'm going grocery shopping and stuff, like just living there. I'm like, what? I even took a trip down to Portugal.
Nice.
We had a week off, so we was like, let's go to southern Portugal. So I'm over there swimming on the other side of the Atlantic, jumping off cliffs into clear blue water. Like, what? This is crazy. So I was like, man, I'm actually like living over here. This is so cool to me. I want somebody to do it. And I remember it was like my last 2 weeks there. I think I was on my way to my last track practice with the team. And I'm riding my bike in the streets.
Yeah.
Like, what? So it's this bridge they got. It goes over the water, get you to the other side. So I had my bike in there, and I'm just thinking like, man, in 2 weeks, I'm going back home. I've really just lived overseas. I really just did that. I was like, yo, I would do it again.
Right?
I would do it again. I would. Oh, also while I was over there, we had another weekend off. They had canceled the game. So I took a weekend trip. So when Corona is up, I'm going to have to go like spend some time there. I took a weekend trip to Paris. Man. Look, have you ever seen Hardball?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you know when they go to the baseball game, they're like, Sammy, that's Sammy so-so. Oh. So I get to Paris, get off the bus, because it's a bus trip. First of all, I was like, yo, I've never rode a bus to a different country. That's wild. So I get off the bus.
Check my experience.
Exactly. So I was riding the train, and you walking in the train, that's underground. Like, you got to read the signs. It's like, Eiffel Tower this way, blah, 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 reading the signs, because it's like, you go this way to catch this train to go that way, that train, go through that platform or whatever. So
Right.
I'm just walking, and I found this group because I was like, they look like they going there. I'm gonna follow them. So we walking. We go up these steps, and when we come up these steps, it's off to the street, but you turn left. And when you turn left and you turn again, it's a big opening, and it's the Eiffel Tower.
Yo.
Man, when I turned the corner, like, cause like you could just see it coming up the steps, and you see street. It's just cars. So I'm like, dang, where I'm at, I'm gonna have to walk some more. But I turn around and I see it, and I'm like, yo, like it blew my mind. I was like, I'm actually seeing this with my own eyes.
All right. It's not a postcard. It's not a Vegas replica.
Exactly. Like I am here in Paris looking at the Eiffel Tower. I had to do a video. Oh man, and I'm so mad my phone was janky because one of the people, they was gonna take a picture with me, but I took a selfie anyway. I suffered through it. I was like, look, these pictures gonna look how they look, but I gotta at least it's me. You know what I'm saying? I took it in the video. I just got a video just of me talking and walking. I was like, man, mama, I made it, mama. Oh, but yeah, living overseas was like a dope experience. I would do it again.
Oh my gosh, so, yo, I love that. And I always say that. I was like, that's one of the biggest things, whether it's just living or like an extended time. Not maybe it might not be like 3, 4, 5 months, but some extended time that's more than just being in a vacation mode.
Exactly.
Of going
vacation
overseas.
Mode outside of that.
Right, exactly.
Like where you could get into like the everyday hustle and bustle of the locals,
area.
You know? Because what got me, I was like, they really out here buying bread that's sticking out the bag.
Yep.
That's real. That's real. They really out here just go buy bread every day. I mean, that granted, it didn't cost that much. Now, also, I like the taxes, you know, one of those taxes, because I go to the grocery store. They had all these over there, too. I was like, oh, I'm familiar with this. So I go in there. I was like, oh, yeah, this will be. I was like, oh, man, this about to be 60 euros. I already know. I get to the counter in Spanish. They were like, oh, that'll be 43.60. I said, 43? Oh. Because in America, all these groceries, that's about $5. I was like, boy. But yeah, I'm an advocate.
Different life.
Everybody need to get over there and be in the everyday hustle and bustle of the locals. Siestas are real.
It really.
Where I was, everything shut down from 1 to 4.
Yeah. Dang.
It shut down.
But hey, look, that means you got to get yourself there. When you get yourself early, and then you got to be set for the rest of the night after that. You're done.
Exactly.
Yo.
It was fun. And it seemed like they were celebrating something all the time. Or maybe it was just the end of the year. So, like, coming up, they got a lot of celebrations. Like, we're celebrating the 3 wise men. We're celebrating the animals that was in the stable. We're celebrating Jesus. I was like, are y'all celebrating everybody that's a part of the Bible? Like, I mean, I'm not mad at it because, I love Jesus. Are we celebrating everybody? Cool. All right.
66 books in the Bible. All right. We're celebrating for every book. All right. Sometimes we're going to double up.
Exactly. It was crazy, but I like it. And now I will say, and also it make you realize what you have and what you don't have. So
I was going to say that's the counter perspective, like what you're seeing in relativity to what you have at home.
Yep. In America, we're paying for convenience because it's been many a night. It was many a nights. I'm like, man, I'm hungry. Ain't nothing open.
Right.
Ain't nothing open. I can't call nobody to come feed me right now. And they don't eat a lot. Like, I love American portions. American portions now. And American breakfast, because everybody don't be eating breakfast like us.
That's also true.
They all right with some pastries and like a couple crackers. And I'm just like, I need some grits.
This is where I always go, and I'll tell people, and I'll kind of wrap this because I legitimately could go for the next 3 hours talking. But like, this is what I always tell people. I'm like, I no longer come to the point where I go, oh, this country sucks, this country sucks, this country sucks, this country sucks, whatever you want to call it. I've now come to the point where there is a country that matches a certain type of personality and characteristic. Like, there's elements that might work better in this arena than it does in this arena. and works here and here. But every country has its own character. It's not any more perfect or any worse necessarily.
Right.
You know, obviously there can be things that improve. Everybody's
Of course.
places can improve. But for the most part, you have this is what it's trying to be. This is the worst of what it can be, and you can find yourself somewhere in the middle. So, like I said, with Southeast Asia, I was like, yo, I could live here vacation-wise. I could live here a little bit because money spreads, people really chill. But at the same time, there's certain elements that, like you said, like convenience that I need in my life. There's maybe even a certain level of arrogance that I need. Maybe I do need a certain level of threat. But we don't need to get to the highest threat, but like just a little bit. You know, just it keeps me sharp. Keeps me sharp and ready to go. So it might work here. But if for another person that has like anxiety, yo, that place is the best freaking place in the world. Like it's quiet, it's chill, you know, people are within their dynamic, and then whatever the worst of it, you kind of figure out how to get your balance in between it. But you can only do that if you have been out and stayed out and allowed yourself to get embraced by the culture, and not simply just, you know, taken from that.
Shout out to rugby for allowing me to use my passport. I appreciate it. Yeah, because while I was over in Spain, they sent us to London for a couple of days, and so I got to, you know, be in London and chill out. And then I went back with Roots, so I was like, man, okay, it's cool. So and you find out what you like, right? So being over in London, I realized, I was like, man, it's always gloomy over here. Like, how do y'all find joy? I just don't. I need the sun in my life, so I'm just gonna hop over here for a little minute and come back. So you find out, like, okay, this is somewhere I can live. This is somewhere I can't. You know what I'm saying? If I decide to leave America, and I can go, you know, stuff like that. Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm an advocate. I feel like everybody should take some time to go to different countries.
Change the world. Change the mindsets in a nutshell.
Definitely.
In a snap. So, kind of last question for you, because we're gonna end up doing this again another time, because we get hella part 2.
That's cool. This was intro, people. This was the intro. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about the deep into the rugby stuff next time.
Yes, indeed. You know, but you know, coming in that as you've received all these experiences and kind of seen this transition of life and seen how it goes for you, you know, Olympic medal, you know, obviously withstanding. Like, what is it that you are starting to see, maybe start to realize that you want to kind of direct your path towards moving forward?
So I reflect on this a lot. When, like I told you, my last season, I got a new coach, and we came back from our conference championships in El Paso, Texas. And I remember I was in an apartment. I had an apartment by myself, and I was just laying down, and I was like, man, I don't have like nothing to do. Like, I need to call my mom and see if she's gonna sign me up for some program, because that's what she do. That's what she did when I was in school, just sign me up for everything. And I text my teammate, I was like, you sure we ain't got no practice or nothing today? Like, when I've graduated school, my class is done, conference is done. I didn't qualify for regionals, you know, because my jump wasn't win legal. So I'm done, like done. Everything's done, and they really hit me, because when I had my injury, I had got in the mindset. I was like, okay, when school's done, I'm done. I'm at peace. But then when that new coach came and I saw results that I had been wanting to see, it relit the fire in me. So now I'm sitting here and I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do. So I went to football and all that. And so fast forward to now, when I'm traveling across the globe and stuff, I remember it was maybe like a day after that day when I was sitting there like I ain't got nothing to do. I was praying for this. Like, I was praying for days like, Lord, I just want to travel and compete. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, I mean, I work. I don't have no problem working, but I won't be happy. You know, I like to travel and I like to compete in sports at a high level to see how the highest level I can get to, you know. And so now what I see me going towards now, because I guess you would say I'm considered an old head in sports, you know, because they don't like us to play, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. So what I'm gearing towards now I just feel like right now it's my turn to give back, which I'm still able to compete at a high level. So I'm gonna keep doing that, until they just absolutely just close the door and be like, look, we not looking at you no more. Like, we don't want you on our team.
Force them to force you out.
Yeah, you go make me sit down.
Right.
Make me, because this is what I want to do. Like, I like playing sports. I like the fact that I get to wake up and train and go play games. Like, I like that.
Right.
That's cool. That's a life I like to live and travel from here and there. Like, some people like, oh, I gotta get on another plane, gotta travel. That comes with the territory, so I don't even be tripping about it. It's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be late to our flight. I be chilling through the airport. I be chilling. I'm like, look, we gonna make it. We'll get there. But I'm geared towards now. Well, it's my time to give back. So I got this in mind, this organization I want to gear towards inner city kids, because like for the all the things we talked about, like traveling and opportunities and knowing stuff. So like where I'm from, I ain't saying I'm from the slums. I was like middle class, whatever. And we ain't have it, but it wasn't like, man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst. But
you can always add opportunities there.
Exposure is where it's at now. I will say shout out to my mom. She is the epitome of it takes a village. And she had me in everything, signing me up for everything. And that exposure, I think part of me growing up with different exposure to different kinds of people helped me get to where I'm at right now, get to the point where people want to associate with me. People want to invite me. People want me to have me in their presence or think about me when stuff come up, right? So I want to get them that exposure early on, kids early on. Like, get a passport early. We going out the country. Now we ain't going to no Jamaica or Bahamas. We actually going to other countries, like, so y'all can see is life outside of Atlanta. It's life outside of Florida. It's life outside of New Orleans. It's life outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So that's what I'm geared towards now. So like so right now, I guess like whatever I'm invited to, I'm gonna try my best I can to go do it. That way I got all this experience, all this knowledge, opportunities, and then I can give it back. So that's what I'm on right now. So, but I'm still here. I'm still here competing. You know what I'm saying? You can still put me on your team. I'm still a game changer. I'm still a game changer now. But while I'm in it,
I was gonna say you're not really actually kicked out old head until you're like 40, 45-ish in rugby. Okay. Like I'll give it a credit. Like you got longevity in it, and especially the more that you know, and you're able to get that ball out quickly without taking the hit. Yeah. Your longevity stays. So you got a while. You got time. Right. You got time. Okay. Every other sport, no, you starting to get to that edge. In rugby, no, you got time.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you for putting me on. I got you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna let you hang out there alone like that. I got you.
Got you. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to gear it towards. That's now, awesome. Plus, like the ultimate is Olympics and world team and look, long jump, call my name, world champion or whatever. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And then after that, but I'm still like I'm starting now, because like I'm so close to completing what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to just like, all right, I done what I done. Now what? So while I'm getting close to accomplishing what I want to do, start working on like, all right, I could get this back. I could do this. Because I already started like a little bit. I know people like, you just started playing rugby. How you gonna teach other folks? I was like, listen, where I'm from, people ask me every day, what is rugby? Right. They don't know what rugby is. So I done did it for 2 years. We probably won't do it this year just because of COVID.
Of course. But, the next level up. Next year. So I do a free rugby clinic.
Nice. Come out here. I'm gonna teach you the basics. Teach you what I know. So as it progressed, I got the connections. Maybe I could bring somebody from the national team. Come show them something. Come sign some balls, or send them a video or something. Something like that. So that's what I'm doing now. So eventually, I want that to evolve into multiple sports. Like I said, I like volleyball. We played volleyball today in training. Me and my teammate, we love it. I was like, I miss it too, girl. And we was playing so well. They had us playing 2-man. We was playing so well. They was like, y'all really had good chemistry. I was like, yeah, we was killing it. We was like, mine, I'm setting her. She hitting it over. We getting it, boy. But yeah, so I want that to evolve in like multiple sports, possibly. And then just ultimately like a organization where they expose to like different cultures and like know like different stuff. Like know that it's people outside of America. Like America's way is not the only way. Like it's other stuff. It's other cultures. So stuff like that.
Dude, I love that. I love to see it. I can't wait to see it go and try and work with you on some stuff because it actually works a lot within some things that I want to get done myself. Doing within that exact scope, really just trying to get people to see outside their 20-mile radius of home and their country radius.
Look, I know I said you needed a front porch, but you got to get off that front porch.
You got to get off it, but you got to get the front porch to start so you can get off it to be able to go.
Exactly.
Got you. It still works. I got you. We on the same page. Right. Yo, Kelly, I thank you so much. Like this was awesome. I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I did. Look, this is good practice for me telling my story because, believe it or not, multiple people have been asking me here lately. I was like, "Is it something going on?" Like,
so I gotta let you know.
Telling me.
We had a whole meeting together. It was like just a giant media meeting with everybody, and we're just like, "Yo, Kelli Smith, you got to get the story. Yeah, you got to get the story too. All right, look, we're gonna hit it in cycles. All right, go in the rotation.
All right. Well, look, you got it first, so you know where to find me.
This is what I hear. This is what I'm about.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate it. We break the dam from there, and then let everybody else get the crumbs after that. Top story.
top story. So you let them know I'm here.
Awesome.
It's a very consistent story, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny too. Tell them I'm a character.
Yo, I'm telling you, that was so fun. Oh, it was so fun. Like it's just an energy. Let's go. Gotta love that energy. Like that's what I'm talking about. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Kelly, thank you so much for being a part of this. It was legitimately great. I truly enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Definitely, please check out some of our other podcasts. We have had some amazing guests over this last few episodes. Last week we had Adam Gray Hayward of the star of the movie Play On. We did a flashback with Jackie Finlan of the Rugby Breakdown. Had Farrah Douglas of Mount St. Mary's Rugby. Had Rashad Lipford, founder of North Carolina A&T. James Brunson, the director and head coach for the North Philly Nomads, the rugby team that the movie The Nomads was made about. And Matthew Provost of Prairie View A&M Rugby, Nicholas Walcott of Chicago Griffins. We got Chetta, the homie Emba of USA Rugby Women's 7s and 15s, about to be an Olympian soon. Also Rugby World Cups 2017 finalist. We had Ram Eddings of the Grey Wolves, Charity Williams, Olympic medalist, bronze medalist for the Canada Sevens women's team, Saifedean Safir of Morehouse College, Blaine Scully, captain for USA Rugby 15s, Angela Elena of Swiss Rugby, Chise Bailu of Pedophile Theo, Raheem Vital and Michael Toussaint, Naya Tapper, Dave Rhymes, Kyle and Tiana Granby of Roots Rugby. We are getting great guests. We got even more great guests coming through. We are setting you up to let you know how to be able to understand and get the opportunities that are happening out here with rugby and that you can achieve via rugby. And most importantly, that you know that you have a community and a family that is there to be able to hold you up. And I gotta say, it's something to be beholden. It's great to see all these people who have been able to take something and make something out of this little sport that we have that is only getting bigger. The community is only getting better, and the depth is only getting deeper. So, guys, in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. And just remember, I hope you stay healthy. I hope you stay happy. And of course, I hope you know that you are highly favored. You guys have a great day. Cheers.